Good morning, everybody. It's time for Miss Hood's Monday morning rant. And I don't really have a rant this week. It's more like a revelation. Last week I was ranting about Holy Week. You know what I learned that Jesus was really crucified on Wednesday and rose on Sunday. And my video got dinged. It took YouTube 6 hours before they would post my video. And I think what happened was I put in the description, I hope this doesn't upset my Christian community too much, talking about what I had discovered about Holy Week. I'm a member of about 10 different school bus driver groups, and 2 of them wouldn't even show the video. They wouldn't show the content. They dinged me. You know, they give these excuses, hate speech, bullying, inappropriate content, and something else. I can't remember what it was. And I thought, are you serious? I'm talking about Holy Week. I couldn't. I was just shocked. So all week long, I'm thinking about my rant. I'm thinking about Holy Week, and I'm driving around. I'm shopping for Easter, and I see the church signs of the Maundy Thursday service and the Good Friday service, and I'm thinking, oh, oh man. And so I went back to the Old Testament, and I'm looking at it. And, you know, God doesn't really talk about what days of the week to do things on. It's the number. He says on the first day of this month, on the 10th day, the 14th day, this is when you do things every year. And one of the things I saw was that on the 10th day, you're supposed to choose the lamb that you're going to prepare for the Passover meal. And the reason why it's so many days ahead is because it's going to take time. It has to be brought to the priest. They have to inspect the lambs and make sure that they're perfect before they can be used. So it made me think about the fact that Jesus was arrested, went before the Sanhedrin. They're trying to find fault in him. They're looking everywhere for a defect in the lamb. And they're even making up stuff because they can't find anything. So when the Sanhedrin bring him to Pontius Pilate to have him crucified, Pontius Pilate, who is he's the political leader of that day, when he makes a statement, it's a legal statement. And he makes the statement, I find no fault in him. He found no defect. Everything that's happening to the lambs before Passover is happening to Jesus before his crucifixion. When he is dying on the cross, that's a preparation day for the Passover. So they are preparing the lambs. They're slaughtering them on that day. They're preparing them for that meal that they're going to eat after sundown. This is all happening while Jesus is hanging on the cross. It is amazing to me how all of that got missed when we talk about the crucifixion, when we talk about what was happening, and how when God created the crucifixion date, he had planned it to be at exactly the same time that he established the Passover meal way back in Deuteronomy. And how they would look back on it, and we would look back on it and see, this is God. There's no doubt. And Jesus kept telling the disciples, he kept saying, this is what's going to happen. We're going to go to Jerusalem. They're going to arrest me. I'm going to be on trial. They're going to crucify me. And after 3 days, I'm going to rise. And the disciples, I guess they didn't want to believe it, because at one point, Peter gets up and said, this is never going to happen to you. And Jesus has to rebuke the devil and rebuke those words. And it's amazing to me that the disciples all ran and hid except for John. John was at the crucifixion. And they didn't remember that he said he was going to rise again. So for them to run to the tomb and to look and see, is he really gone? To me I thought, what were you guys thinking? Did you think he was just lying? I mean, even the religious leaders had the tomb sealed and put a 2,000-pound rock in front of it and had it sealed so that if the rock was moved, the disciples couldn't have stolen his body and claimed that he rose from the dead. And they said, that faker said that after 3 days he was going to rise again. And so I thought about this all week, and I had never given any thought to the fact that he had to be arrested and tried and found the perfect lamb that was crucified, that died on the cross, that was buried in a tomb and went into the pit of hell, and for 3 days battled with Satan and stripped him of his power and took the keys of death, hell, the grave, poverty, sickness, everything that Satan was responsible for, stealing, killing, and destroying. He took those keys and he took the power away. So that now that when I leave the kingdom of darkness and I'm born into the kingdom of light, the enemy doesn't have any power over me anymore because Satan was stripped by Jesus of that power for me and for anybody who will receive him. So I guess this isn't a rant. I guess this is a Monday morning revelation. Have a great week.